Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to finish up my video, part 3 of taking care of these hides. This will be oiling. I've salted, I've scraped. Now just got to get them all flexible and oiled up. Anyhow, the things I'm going to be using during this video are some rubber gloves, a brush to brush the fur afterwards, and the home tanning book kit. And inside of that, I have my oil. It comes with the salt, as you saw as well, and some scraping stuff I haven't used, but there's the tanning oil. That's what I'm going to be using to soften up all these right here, the ones that I've let dry out for a good while. They had plenty of time to dry out, so anything that was wet is definitely dry. Anyhow, I'm gonna get started. So first thing we need to do is put the gloves on. And let's see, after that I'm gonna probably have to heat up some of this this oil here, because that is the key point of this, is the oil. So I'm gonna take some of this, stick it into something to heat it up, and not go over all the kitchen dishes while I'm at it. Alright, so we're not going to need a whole lot, but a decent amount. So we're supposed to put this in the microwave and heat it up. It's probably enough. And you're supposed to heat it just for a couple minutes, or a couple seconds, not minutes. So I'm going to let that heat up for maybe 5-6 seconds. That should be good. Yeah, it's already boiling. As you can see, it bubble there. Anyhow, so first thing we need to do, we need to get all these tacks out. So I'm going to take care of that. Probably speed through it. So we're going to just moisten these up a little, because they've been sitting outside drying out for at least a week or two. You can see how they've pulled against the tacks I had in there. But yeah, I'm just putting this small amount on these just to start out, because oil's warm. I want to keep it that way. I may heat it up a little bit more as well, but okay. So gonna put some on these. Let's untap these real quick. So this is what we got to start out with. In my other video, this is what we finished up with, a nice flexible hide, flexible fur hide. That's what we're going for. So I'm going to oil them first, and then I'm going to crack them, because I think it's easy to crack these and rip them, and then you got holes in your hides, and that's no fun. So as we oil these up, I'm going to start bending them around. Probably start with these small ones, just because they're very easy to do. fold them in a bunch of different ways. If the fur gets oil on it, doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. It's gonna, if anything, it'll help. So these are so small I can just crumple them in my hand multiple times and it should basically do what I need done. So, and after you crack them a little bit, you want to oil them up a little bit more, because I mean this, you can already see, has absorbed all the oil. And so I'll take this and touch it up, put some more oil in it, and continue to flex it so it absorbs and breaks open those dry pieces of leathery material. But yeah, just a little bit of that, and this one's slowly getting there. Continuing to ply and bend as much as possible this little piece of rabbit fur. I'm going to go and touch it up a little bit more, get some more oil in there, get this hide to moisten. So it's looking better now. You can kind of see that. It's still somewhat papery, as you can hear me folding it. It's not the easiest task. It's actually quite taxing on your fingers because you're squeezing and doing all different stuff just to flex the hide as much as possible. Speaking of which, I'm probably not going to film this all because it seems like it's going to take a while. But, I mean, I could film it and speed through everything, but some people might find that boring. But this one's getting there. I mean, as you can see here, still got some papery to it, but it is much more flexible. And all it really needs is some more oil, more flexing, which I'm doing. And slowly it's going to get to where you want it to. So oh, cram it into a little ball. Alright, so that is one hide. I'm sure I could flex it a little bit more and put some more cracks in it so it becomes more pliable and less stiff. Some pieces of it are kind of still more stiff than others, but you can get an idea what the original looked like and what it comes out to afterwards. Not too bad. So, one done. Still quite a few to go. I'm gonna first apply some of this oil to these just so they can start to moisten, you know. These other first ones I've put oil on will probably be fairly easy to do. So just applying oil, as much oil as possible. I mean, there's only so much that this will absorb initially, then all the bending is what's going to really kick it in. So, yeah, nice and shiny. There's another one. This one needs a little bit as well. So we'll go and stick it on. These are already oiled, so Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up with a little bit more of the oil. Actually may need a little bit more because it's already starting to use up most of it. So throw that in the microwave and I will apply the other ones. I'm just going to put it in for 5 seconds. Should be more than enough. So, initial crumple. Let's see what it looks like. Not too bad. Go and crumble it up again. A little bit better. I can start going for specific areas as well when I get some of this oil, so I can start coating this thing again. It's funny how it just sort of seeps into these hides as you crack and play with them. As I keep doing this, this is going to break it in. Seems like one of the easiest ways to do it, really. Just keep gripping and grabbing. Making balls with your hands is what I'm doing. So when you're doing this, just keep grabbing. It's already looking much better. See, I'm starting to grab it with my fingers so I can make smaller creases where it doesn't have them already. And, yep. Sounds like paper though, doesn't it? It's actually pretty good so far. I mean, look at how many creases that has in it. So what we need to do is, let's get this coated with some more oil. Maybe just touch it in. Using that cloth, it seems like it's absorbing quite a bit of it. So, yep, this is way oiled up now. So anything that it wants to absorb, it's going to. This oil almost smells like car oil. I'm not sure how they make it. Has a very, this is zangy oiled smell to it. Not cooking oil, definitely. I'd be curious as to what they actually use. Looking pretty good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's tiring. Alright. It's being less and less noisy if you've noticed. Still has a lot of paperness to it, but these are still thin hides, so I'd be careful when doing this kind of thing, but definitely helps. So, hide done. Woohoo, another one. So let's go to this one. This one has like fairly, I almost think it's flesh. I think it is. I couldn't get it off though when I was scraping them, because when I'd scrape it would go right through. So I'm gonna see what happens to this. This hide is gonna be interesting because it almost looks like it has a flesh on it. So here we go. It's definitely harder to bend up. That actually works really well. Tip, Maybe rub them like that because it creases as you're doing this. Makes a whole lot of creases there. See that? Well, this skin's going to probably come out really dark because of that layer of skin or something that's on it. It may actually just be the same as this one here. Maybe it's just the jackrabbits are a little bit darker skinned. I know the meat's definitely darker. A little bit more force into this one. Yeah, so we'll bend and apply this piece here as much as possible. It's already getting softer, so I'm going to start doing it like I did the other one. Grabbing with my fingers. I'm grabbing with my fingers like that as I come in on it. But you just want to make sure you're getting the edges as you do it. Because I mean, here's like an edge and I push it in to crease all around. And as you do that, you make more creases in it, make it more flexible. And let's see if I can show it to you. There we go, looking better. It's looking much better. There's still a long way to go with this one, as far as I can tell. It just seems really hard to soften it. But it's getting there. Just gotta keep playing with it. Yeah, it's getting better. May not actually be that long to do this one. So I would say this is the hardest part of, no, not the hardest part. I'd say this is the most tiring part of skinning because you're constantly doing stuff. You're pulling, you're using your muscles to break this hide in. So it uses a lot of your energy in your hands. Like I'm feeling it in my tendons here, my fingers somewhat, but mostly in the tendons and the wrist. But here we go. Looking much better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it and pull. It just helps loosen that hide, pull it outwards. Because while I was drying it, did the opposite, it pulled inwards, so just a lot of hide that's side to side. You just need to be careful with what hide you use. I mean, rabbit hides are thin, but you can tell that I can really pull on this and it's not going to rip. But deer hide, you'd seriously have to do some major playing with it, screwing with it, so it'll actually stretch out. But yeah, this looks good. I'd say that's a good piece there now. I can play with it more in a little bit. I'm gonna do the other ones though. So these small ones are fairly easy. Be right back. Alright, well, this one's interesting. The skin has like blackness in it, pigmentation. But yeah, still a beautiful hide. Just interesting to see the skin has its own spots and stuff, kind of like freckles, you know. So I'm continuing to flex this hide. I'm just getting hot in here, so I'm trying to open up windows and stuff. So let's continue with this little piece here. Skin really whitens when you yank it like this. Okay, that one should be done. Let's go with another big one. I probably should actually oil this one up just a tad bit more because I didn't put a whole lot more on it when I was messing with it. Just to show you guys, this is that hide that I just put oil on, the bigger piece. You can tell it has soaked in all of that oil. So I mean, for the most part, it's, you can sort of see this right here. It's a little bit of flesh. Oh wow, yeah. Oh, what I'm really afraid of is if I do this, I may just like rip right through the hide, and then there goes a big chunk of rabbit hide that I put a lot of effort on. Holy cow, this comes right off though. It was not coming off before. Not like this. It was seriously like it was gonna kill someone if I tore it apart last time. Yeah, it's coming off now. There's the extra flesh that I was trying so hard to get rid of when I was scraping. That's just kind of interesting footage to show you, I think. You know, this stuff is just ripping off. After I take this off though, I'm going to definitely oil it up one more time because it's pretty dry underneath this. Yeah, well, the rest of it isn't coming off nearly as easy as that big piece did. That kind of sucks because I wanted to get it all off. Come on, fur. Off the hand. Just sticks to you. Alright, so. Oh boy. Seriously. This is kind of what you deal with when your skin stuff is dealing with flushing and yeah. Well, it looks better. I'd have to say that. After getting that skin off, because it was a thick, I don't know, it had some yellow pigmentation in it. It was mostly here that it just looked really ugly, but it's kind of helped to remove that. Okay, so anyhow, I'm taking a while on this one. Should definitely hurry it up. I'm gonna just oil this down, toss it here. This one, which I originally started with, is totally soaked in all the oil, so I'm gonna oil it a little bit more now. So oiled, good to go. Gonna chuck this extra flesh. Now I'm gonna do another big one. So I wonder what the easiest way to do this is. 'Cause, I mean, I think just crumpling it works best. You know, just smashing it. And that basically does it for you. I don't think there's a whole lot of... This is for rabbit hides. Don't know how you want to do it with deer. I've yet to do one. But I'd imagine it's similar but different. If you want soft leather, I believe you have to do a lot of work with deer hide. Rabbit hide is so much thinner. I mean, it's like paper right now. And you can hear it's thick, but yeah. Still requires work. Tires your fingers, your wrists out. Definitely not as hard though. A lot of this excess fur falling off is fur that when I cut it, it stayed attached to those sides or whatever. So a lot of the side stuff is bound to come out as I'm going through this. And I expect that to happen, so actually oil this up a little bit more. It's already quite dry. So oiling it, and then back to smashing and mashing and doing lots of fun stuff. You know, so fun. It's mostly informational. Would not say this is something that's that entertaining. I think the fun part of it is what I'm going to get out of it at the end, you know. At the end of this all, I'm going to have a nice hat. Definitely it's fun to hunt them. I would not say it's... Actually, that's probably the most fun of this, is hunting the rabbits. But seriously, yeah. Hunting jackrabbits, if you've never done it, if you've done cottontail, that's easy. Cottontails just stand there, sitting, waiting. They stare at you. They're like, oh, what's going on? And they die. Jackrabbits, on the other hand, they'll sit in a bush watching you. As soon as you get close, or they hear you getting close, they'll hop out of the bush, start hopping away. And then you sort of shoot at them, and way more fun. Moving target. That's a better hunt. Here in Utah, jackrabbits can be hunted year-round, because there's so many of them that they want you to kill them. You know, leaving them alone causes them to populate like crazy, and then they disease themselves, and you know, you got rabbits dying from disease, and so the population will just dwindle if that happens. So it's actually good to go out and hunt them. For anyone that's anti-hunting, that's my defense there. You know, you can say, oh, it's a cuddly rabbit, don't kill it. Well, you're killing it if you don't kill it, because it's going to spread disease to all others. I know it's nature and stuff, and nature will take care of itself, but you know, hunters are doing a favor to them as well. Yes, you could go without hunting, but it's not like we're making that much of a big difference if we do go hunting, because same thing happens if we don't. They just die. So this one's looking good. I'm going to start stretching it now, and you can see it really whitens up as you do this. It just like gets all those fibers within there to stretch open. like to go side to side because that seems to also help with the bends and stuff in it. So, okay, now to oil this one up again. After I oil it up, I'm gonna set it out with the other ones and they will absorb their oils. I bet you'll come back to this and be like, look, it's all dry now, guys. Yeah. Anyhow, well, this one's really thin. This is the cottontails. You can tell when it's cottontail, just like a piece of paper. Actually, more like a piece of, sounds like a piece of tissue paper, you know, the really thin paper. That's how thin they are. That's why I don't have a whole rabbit hide here. Got like a piece of it. I've got these that are decent size. They came out alright, you know? But, yeah, definitely thin stuff. You can stick that up in the light and see through it practically, where the spots of fur or less. But, oh wow. Look what I was talking about. Ripping furs. Right there. That is why cottontails suck. Look at that. Goodbye, piece of fur. May just need to chuck this whole fur. I'm gonna see what I can do with it though. I may just need a little bit more oil. It might make the difference with these cottontails because they're super, super thin. So, yeah, same old stuff. I'll talk about something else now. Yeah, things I like to do are also go snowmobiling. That's one thing that I'm really entertained by. It's just fun. Mainly because you get to go places in the snow that you normally you don't go to, or either it would take you the entire day just to get to one of the spots you get to when you go snowmobiling, because you can cover so much territory when you go snowmobiling. That's why I really enjoy it. I don't go really for the thrills like a lot of people, you know, make videos and stuff about how they're going off jumps and, you know, doing all these crazy things, you know. I go more for the nature, and I'll occasionally do some fun stuff like the only crazy thing I did was sort of go up a little ramped piece of land that landed on a trail, so when I came off it, my my skis were completely off the ground. That was the only time I did anything really crazy, and after that I was like, that wasn't that great. I'll go up some steep stuff. It's not scary at all once you get used to riding a snowmobile. And you just go up it, climb to the top of the mountain, come down. I plan to do, if it snows enough here, which, you know, it might not, because it just seems like a weak winter this year. If it snows more, I may go snowmobile winter camping, because if you do that, you can easily carry a whole lot more with you, and you can do a lot more during the day instead of, you know, hiking into some place and getting there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you gotta already start worrying about chopping down wood, putting up camp, and, you know, getting ready for the night. If you go snowmobiling in the morning, you can get there, you know, like, oh boy, seriously. This is kind of what you deal with when your skin stuff is dealing with flushing, and yeah. Well, it looks better. I'd have to say that after getting that skin off, because it was a thick, I don't know, it had some yellow pigmentation in it. It was mostly here that it just looked really ugly, but it's kind of helped to remove that. Okay, so Anyhow, I'm taking a while on this one. Should definitely hurry it up. I'm gonna just oil this down, toss it here. This one, which I originally started with, is totally soaked in all the oil, so I'm gonna oil it a little bit more now. So oiled, good to go. Gonna chuck this extra flesh. Now I'm gonna do another big one. So I wonder what the easiest way to do this is. I mean, I think just crumpling it works best. You know, just smashing it. And that basically does it for you. I don't think there's a whole lot of... This is for rabbit hides. Don't know how you want to do it with deer. I've yet to do one. But I'd imagine it's similar but different. If you want soft leather, I believe you have to do a lot of work with deer hide. Rabbit hide is so much thinner. I mean, it's like paper right now. And you can hear it's thick, but yeah. Still requires work. Tires your fingers, your wrists out. Definitely not as hard though. A lot of this excess fur falling off is fur that when I cut it, it stayed attached to those sides or whatever. So a lot of the side stuff is bound to come out as I'm going through this. And I expect that to happen, so actually oil this up a little bit more. It's already quite dry. So oiling it, and then back to smashing and mashing and oh, there we go. See that? I was trying to stretch it, just ripped. You know, I'm probably just going to chuck this. It's not a very big piece anyways, but we'll move on to another cottontail. I'm going to oil this one up way better, because that last one just totally ripped. Yeah, so other things I might post fishing. Fishing's boring though. Like, to film fishing, I don't know. That just... It doesn't seem entertaining to me unless you get these great action scenes where you're catching a fish and you film that and then post those only. Other than that, you're going to be just sitting there, you know, doing nothing, just talking while you're fishing. Not to bash on fishing, I like fishing. Don't get me wrong there. I'm just saying, can't film fishing, and mostly what I'm posting on this YouTube channel is stuff you can film. That's, you know, stuff that you do during the winter or whatnot, or during the summer. Gonna have to find something to do, probably just hiking and camping, but maybe some bushcraft. Summer kind of sucks though, because I don't know, out here you just get tons of mosquitoes and flies, big huge fat horse flies, and it gets annoying sometimes. I kind of enjoy the winter just because you don't have all that. You go out and you go in the forest and it's just cold. That's really the only big challenge, is the temperature. You know, you build your camp, which is easy to do. You know, flies and stuff. You put repellent on, mosquitoes still bite you. You do your best to try and avoid it, but it's such a pain in the butt, I think. Just flies and stuff. I got some app on the iPhone which I was going to want to try out at some point. It was this little electronic... It's an electric sound amplifier thing that basically makes it so that you can make it so the flies don't want to come near you, or the mosquitoes as well. But I'm thinking, like, the mosquito's dying, it's like hungered and it has to eat or whatever. it's going to ignore that. It's like survival instinct versus, oh, I hate that sound. It's going to go and bite you. It's not going to avoid you. Those things are such bull crap. Just trying to make money, these people. Which a lot of them do. You know, gimmicks. Ooh, look, you can use this app and things won't bite you. Oh, you can put some repellent on and things won't bite you. Works like, I don't know, what, 75? Giving it a good percentage there. The rest of the time things are biting you. And then you also got to put like sunscreen on if you go out and into the sun a lot. At least when you're camping, you don't have to worry that much about the sun. It's still bad, but it's not nearly as bad as going out in the snow. I mean, you can wear snow goggles in the snow if you're worried about your eyes. I don't think I got sunburned when I went winter camping. I don't. At least as far as I remember. You don't have to worry about that. Things you worry about are building a fire, making your food, building your camp, you know, bringing a good sleeping bag that's going to keep you through the night. That one had a lot of fur coming off of it. So yeah. I'm almost done here. As boring as this may have been, it's more like a recap of things I like to do while I'm busy, you know, oiling the hides, bending them, flexing them. But yeah, so let's go and I'm trying to put as little force on this as possible because the last one I ripped. I don't think these things pull very well, you know, apart. If you pull apart, they come apart. At least the jackrabbits, you're able to, you know, give them a little bit of a beating. This one's looking good now. Jackrabbits, you give them a beating and they take it. So I wasn't able to pull those nearly as apart as these other ones. Just see how this one's coming. This one's actually staying quite oiled. I might flex it a little bit. Try and see if I can break it in a little bit more. It's funny how once you've bent these up and flexed them, they start to whiten, and they got that yellow tint in them as well because of the oil. The oil's a little bit of yellow, or brownish color, but you know. So yeah, that is the oiling stage of these hides. You know, I'm gonna have them oiled and I'm gonna let them sit for a good amount of time just to absorb all that oil so that they stay soft. I'm gonna comb these as well because, I mean, you'll see. I'll show you real quick. As you go over this, it gets a whole lot nicer, and you also start gathering a whole lot of fur in them. Just because there's loose fur that comes out. There's some there. It's funny, there's one spot, and I think it's where the rabbit neck is or something. It's just like right here that it seems like all the hair just sort of comes out of there, and whenever I look at it, it just sticks up, and I try and comb it down, and it doesn't want to go away. But yeah. Nice furs. I mean, look at that. That's nice. So here's the first one I did, that I ever did, really. It's actually still very nice. But let me show you where that spot is on this one. It's right here. There's just like this clump of fur right there. See that? This fur right here does not comb in any direction like the other fur does. This stuff will comb down to the side. And this one will probably have a lot come out of it. This is a cottontail. It actually has a different color to it, as you can tell. Looks like that spot might have been right here on this one because it's kind of funky right there. But yeah, Probably gonna yank this out because it's got some fur weirdness to it. Just all clumped together. But yeah, nice fur. I'm gonna actually put them upright. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I enjoy doing this stuff. This isn't the most fun. This is mostly informative. I'm gonna be mostly excited about how everything turns out. You know, the hat. The fun part of it was the hunt. You know, this is work, and the know-how to do this I think is important because, you know, you never know when you're gonna have to make something out of animal hide or fur. You never know. Well, that's a really bad piece right there. It just sort of does not have much fur on that edge, but you never know. If you're in the forest and all you got is rabbit to catch and eat, you know, you might be able to make something out of those hides that you're gathering. This one's still somewhat crappy. So this video is extremely long, and I apologize for that. And it's mostly just me rambling. And if you enjoyed hearing me ramble and talk and, you know, just go over the process of doing these hides, oiling them, stretching them out and stuff, you know, like the video. I know I'm not great at this stuff. I attempt to be as informative as possible, and, you know, I do my best. Not the best at this stuff at all, and I am aware of that, and I hope everyone learns something from it, even if I'm not the best. As I improve, I'm sure more and more people will learn from it. This side's funky right there. It's got some funky pieces in this one. Or it just sort of grabs. Look at all that fur. Yeah, it's good to brush these down before you sew them up, because the last thing you want to do is sew something up and then like have all this fur just coming off of it while you're wearing it. I mean, while I've been doing this, you can obviously see that a lot of this fur has gathered, and yeah, I'll chuck that at the end. This piece is the ugliest because it was so small and it's got oil all over the fur, but it'll dry out, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, it actually ripped right there as well, that piece, but happens. So I'm going to oil this up a little because it looks really dry. Might flex it just a little bit as well because it was one of the first ones, and I don't think I did nearly as well on these as I did on the others. So I think this was a cottontail too. I'm not positive though. Don't quote me on that. Probably could go back and watch the video and know exactly what it was. Oh, actually, it's cottontail. Just from the fur, you can tell it's browner. Jackrabbits are more like a gray. This is a jackrabbit. It's not really brown, it's more like a grayness to it. Much lighter. That one's actually really pretty. Wow, yeah, that's a nice color on that. Alright. That is the end of this video. If anyone made it through the whole video, I commend you. I know I made it through the whole video making it, but it's just me rambling and doing some good old oiling of rabbit hides. So if you made it through this video, comment and I congratulate you. Alright? Anyhow, keep rocking, guys. Keep doing stuff outdoors. It's good to do. Take family. You know, go hunting, go fishing, do stuff that's not normal, you know? This kind of stuff, I mean, what's the percentage of the people in the world that know how to do this? I mean, I'm fairly certain it's small because it's not needed in life's tasks, you know? But it's not difficult to learn it, and I'm not going to be doing this like every single day. It's not like something I want to do as a job, but it's good to know how to do. And it's fun to go hunting. You don't have to hunt to live. I mean, you could easily go in shopping malls and buy your stuff, buy your clothing, buy your bomber hats. They have bomber hats that have rabbit fur on them already. My wife has one. It was like $30 for it, though. So, just trying to say, get out, enjoy life, do fun stuff, do stuff in the outdoors. It makes you a better person, I think I should say. Just gives you a much bigger outlook on life rather than just living in, you know, day in, day out, working in a city, you know. Just totally, it beats the crap out of you, to put it bluntly. It's tiresome. So get out, do some stuff, learn some new trades, make something. Don't just go and have someone else do it for you. Try and do it yourself. Become self-sufficient. Anyhow, that's just me rambling. If anyone ever made it through this, please comment. And if you enjoyed it or learned something from this, like it, because I think others should like it as well, and liking it and watching it and subscribing helps other people see the video there because it becomes more popular, and YouTube has a way of making popular things noticeable to people that are looking for them. Anyhow, have a good day, guys, and keep doing great things.